The forces of Baal are all around us now. Last week, I talked to Rabbi Daniel Lapin. I think it was on, was it Thursday show? And he's done a ton of research on it, and it was disturbing and brilliant the way he tied it all together. If you didn't see Thursday's show, I ask you to watch it now on demand. Earlier in the show, I told you these two stories which define Baal: depravity, violence, and domestic abuse. There was the double murder of a California couple by their son, the teenage son, who spent time at the Occupy camp in Oakland. He's accused of strangling them. Then, on Saturday, there were protesters that were marching through the streets, chanting, "F the police," in Oakland, California. I want you to watch this.
No justice, no peace. The police. No justice, no peace. The police.
Okay, got it. This comes after just a week after the Oakland movement's most recent string of violence. Last week, protesters broke into City Hall. They vandalized the building. They clashed with the cops there. And here's another important part. Do you remember these scenes from Occupy Wall Street this last fall when occupiers were telling the cops they support them? Watch and remember.
Join us for the march. I'm here at Occupy Oakland, 12th Street and Broadway.
If you're the Boston police, you're awesome and you're invited. We're going to be cool with the cops, guys. Yeah.
If they're cool with us, we'll be cool with them.
Join us, join us, join us, join us, join us.
Okay, they were talking last fall about how they were there for their pensions. I warned the police at the time, this is not going to last, and this is not who they are. I urged the police at the time to get away from anyone that was supporting these guys, especially their unions. They were being set up. No one in the media is showing you what the cops are really up against, the hatred and the violence the occupiers are directing towards them. The mainstream media is ignoring it. Police in Washington, D.C. were taunted when they raided an Occupy campground in McPherson Park over the weekend. One of the occupiers goes so far as to make a degrading comment about one cop's wife. I want you to listen.
I bet your wife hits harder than that.
And you don't know. You should know he beats you.
You know what she told me? Some is bigger than yours.
Really?
Looks like half my
Really? Come on, there's other things.
It's all right, man. We got on you.
No, this specifically right here tried to crap me with his little ass nightstick.
You're talking about your...
Can you imagine that? Another officer not seen in the video was injured after one protester hit him in the face with a brick. Do you know what ACAB, A-C-A-B, stands for? I do now, thanks to Occupy Oakland. Watch.
All these different incidents, it leads to a level of violence or a level of frustration with OPD for their violence.
All cops are bastards. ACAB, A-C-A-B. Have you seen the disgusting graffiti that says, "Stab a cop"? Or do we have "Stab a cop"? There it is, "Stab a cop." Or here's one, "Kill all the pigs." How about this one? A banner that reads, "Not gay as in happy, but queer as in F the Oakland Police Department." These are just a few of the examples. An Oakland police officer and his superior are now under fire after an officer covered up his name badge with a piece of tape during a rally in November. He said he wanted to protect his name because he feared the occupiers would harass his family, which they have done. He claims that protesters threatened to burn down the home of one of his colleagues. Back in October, the New York City Police Department Sergeants Benevolence Association threatened to sue protesters after 20 officers were injured by them. So, there it is. I reissue the call to get away from anyone supporting these people, especially the unions that are supporting this street gang. Here's the latest. The AFL-CIO wants they're calling on the Occupy movement to occupy CPAC. This is the Conservative Political Action Conference, which takes place later this week in Washington, D.C. The Blaze will be there. Police You may wonder, what does this have to do with me? If you're thinking nothing, think again. The International Union of Police Association, IUPA, it was created specifically for groups that wanted to be tied to the AFL-CIO with help for their collective bargaining and benefits issues. The union brags about its ties, saying, quote, "It's the only AFL-CIO union chartered exclusively for law enforcement and law enforcement support personnel. The police union's logo incorporates the AFL-CIO logo." If you're a cop and you're a member of this organization, you are now tied to the Occupy Wall Street movement. They were quiet for a while, and they'll be quiet until spring, pretty much. But they're coming back, just like they did at Altamont after Woodstock. It gets progressively worse. I've warned that they will come back and they will be stronger than they were before. We know that they're planning a day of rage modeled after 1968. Here's a list of their latest efforts just over the weekend. May Day, on May 1st, the labor union and occupiers are going to join forces to stage a global strike. They say no work, no school, no shopping, no banking, no trading. They're calling for people to take to the streets and shut down commerce. I don't know if people are going to do this or not, but they will, and it will gather strength. Let the 1% know they've been taken for granted. They've been taking people for granted, and they're done. Also, the Rebuild the Dream. Van Jones has a group that is pushing the 99% Act. It's a brilliant idea of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. The goal is to restore the American dream by creating 5 million jobs, 44,000 for police officers. It also calls for negotiating better Medicare drug prices and adding a public option to Obamacare. Let me tell you something. Creating 40,000 police officer jobs. This is Van Jones from Oakland playing one side and F the pigs on the other side. It's the same. I'm telling you, be careful. Activist Reverend Jamal Harrison Bryant, who co-founded the Occupy the Dream movement, said, quote, "Occupy's aim has been gray and must become clearer, as in we're staying until what happens. With the civil rights movement, it was we're going to march until we can ride anywhere on the bus. We're going to boycott until we can sit at the lunch counter." I don't know if the good reverend knows this, but you can sit at the lunch counter. You can ride on the bus. But you still can't covet thy neighbor's wife or thy neighbor's goods. You can't bear false witness of thy neighbor. You shouldn't worship false idols or take God's name in vain. You shall not kill, steal, or commit adultery. Oh, and I forgot, and I'm surprised I forgot, especially after the Occupy Wall Streeter killed his parents this weekend. You're also supposed to honor thy father and mother, not kill them. Honor them. But ride the bus or sit at the lunch counter, you can do that all you want. It's America, after all. Back in a minute.